So this is the majestic Ricardoor that you just saw in that beautiful edit that was pretty bad, and I didn't know what song to use for Ricardo. So closing, really nice and sync, bottom and sides close at the same time, and same with the opening. And it is 4 wide. Didn't really get to see a lot of the redstone, so I'm just gonna spin around this thing so you can see a bit more of it. And basically it's just a 4x4 in the front and a semi-hipster in the back with a few extra blocks. So now, by popular demand of 2 people that asked me on Discord, it's time for an epic tutorial. This is me from the future telling you that this door is actually directional. I tried to do the tutorial about 10 times in the wrong direction, so the door never worked. So if the door doesn't work for you, try building it in a different direction. Okay, now the tutorial. So the actual design of the door itself, of the actual door blocks, is a little bit complicated, so I'm gonna do it per frame. So this is gonna be the first frame, and this will be the front of your door, so it'll be over here, and the Ricardo face will start 1 block into the frame, so it'll start around this layer. So this is the first layer. You can take your screenshots or whatever. So this is the second layer, and it is made out of the red mushroom blocks, spruce stairs, and spruce slabs. So this is what it looks like from the front. And from the back, it should look like this. So mushroom blocks in this positions, and the stairs have to be in that orientation so the face looks right, and you have to put your slabs at the bottom. So now I'm going to show you the next layer. So I built the next layer, and it uses these blocks, and obviously quartz is just your normal door blocks. So bone blocks, concrete, and black and white. And it uses spruce planks like the actual block and another red mushroom, and it looks like this, so you can take a screenshot or whatever you need to do. So bone blocks have to be facing upwards, so then like the teeth look right. So these bone blocks are facing upwards, so make sure they're facing upwards so they look like this. And if they face sideways, I don't know if it's gonna make much of a difference, but in this case they're upwards. And then finally, to finish it off, you just put another frame of your whatever your frame blocks are around the last thing. I don't know, just 2 layers of Ricardo adornness sandwiched in between 2 quartz frames or whatever blocks your frames are made of. So now we're gonna do the piston layout. So you're gonna get your sticky pistons, and then we're gonna start the actual piston layout. So we can just take out these quartz frames so it's easier to build. So you're going to put your sticky pistons facing upwards in the corners like this, and then facing downwards like this. And then you're going to put a dull piston extender on the back of these. So this is what one side looks like, and then on the other side like this. And it is turning night, so I should probably turn it back. So there we go, now it's daytime, so that's all fixed. And now you're going to put 3 sticky pistons facing downwards on these mushroom blocks, and you're going to put 4 sticky pistons facing upwards going into these slabs and these stairs. So this is the first layer. As you can see, it's just a 4x4 piston door with 1 block missing. And now for the second layer, we can take out this second quartz frame or whatever. And we're going to put another sticky piston facing downwards on this mushroom block. And then we're going to put 2 sticky pistons going into the spruce and the concrete. And then we're going to build up our semi-hipster. So we're going to put 4 pistons facing upwards like this for our double piston extender. And we're going to put 2 pistons into these bone blocks facing inwards. And then we're going to put a piston over here going into this white concrete block. So this should be the front of your Ricardoor if you remove the frames and stuff. And then this should be what the back looks like. So I'm just gonna put my quartz frames back, and you should probably do that too, or whatever frame thing it is. And then I'm gonna get the stuff we need for the rest of the door. So I'm gonna do that, I guess. Woo. So the things you need are in my HUD bar. So you need these things. You can pause the video just to see what they are, and blocks for wiring or whatever. So I'm just going to switch out the hopper. So our input is going to be this line of redstone next to these pistons, and we're going to put blocks in front of these ends of the redstone line, I don't know what to call it. And then in front we're gonna put 2 tick repeaters going towards the outside, and we're gonna put a block in front of those repeaters like this, and a sticky piston facing upwards on both sides, and we no longer need our sticky pistons. And we're gonna put 2 observers, one on top and one in front of our sticky piston, and put a block in front of that observer. So we're gonna do the same on the other side, so 2 observers and our block, and we're gonna put our 3 tick repeater in front of both observers, and we're going to put observer facing upwards over the repeater, so then the repeater updates the observer and activates this bottom piston. So now we're gonna put 2 normal pistons facing upwards like this with 2 observers on diagonal from them, so then they also activate it, and then blocks on top of these observers with redstone and another observer like this. And then you're gonna get your repeater and face it towards the frame, and you're gonna put redstone dots here, and then 3 blocks like this, and we're gonna get our hopper now. So we're gonna put a dropper facing the back of the Ricardo door, and we're gonna put a hopper going into it and not fall down like I always do. Comparator facing outwards, note block, and a piece of redstone, and then an observer facing the frame, and you're gonna put whatever you want in this hopper, so I'm just gonna put comparators because why not. And then we're gonna go on the other side and do the same, so dropper, hopper, and then comparator, and then we're gonna put a comparator off from the hopper. I think I just called the hopper a comparator. And then we're gonna put a note block and a piece of redstone, and then an observer going towards the frame again. So that should be almost our whole 4x4 piston door, and not forget to put blocks where we need to. But now we have to activate these bottom pistons, and we also have to activate this piston because right now it doesn't activate by anything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come from this line, and we're gonna put a repeater going into this block, and then we're gonna put 3 blocks coming from that block, and then 3 pieces of redstone with a block, and then normal piston in front and an observer on top of that, and we're going to put 2 blocks and a piece of redstone, and then another sticky piston with an observer facing towards the frame, and then a piece of redstone and a block. So now that piston will get activated at the same time as that piston. And now we have to get these 2 pistons to activate, so we're going to put 2 normal pistons here, and then we might have to just break through this, so we can put 2 observers facing upwards, and then put our sticky pistons back with our slabs, so you can now go away. We don't need you anymore. So yeah, so then that should be it for the 4x4 section. So I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope this works. So there we go, we have the 4x4 in the front, and now we just need the second layer, and it also opens all in sync. And now, as you can see, the mushroom blocks kind of got ruined now, but whatever, that's just gonna stay like that. Even if you replace them, it'll just go like that again, but whatever. So now after that we have to put an observer going under this piston, and I'm gonna change into my red blocks, and then we're gonna put 2 note blocks going into that observer. Well, that observer's going into the note blocks, and then 2 observers facing upwards going into these top pistons. And then we are going to, if I just look here, we're going to put a block, observers facing outwards like this, with blocks in front and note blocks under like that. And then we're going to put a dropper facing upwards like this. So basically what that note block does is it buds this dropper, so it gets activated from this block, because you could also bud droppers if you didn't know that. So we're going to put an item in that dropper, and we're also going to do it on the other side. So dropper facing upwards, hopper, and then item going like that. And then you're going to put your comparator going into this bottom piston like this. And then you're going to put 2 observers facing upwards like that on top of the hopper and the comparator. And we're going to do that on the other side. So 2 observers, and then we can just cover that back up. So now all we need to do is hook up this piston, and we're going to do exactly what we did for this side. So we're going to go under this piece of redstone, and put a repeater going into this block with 3 more blocks going like this and 3 pieces of redstone. Yep, that should be right. And then we're going to put a block in front with our piston like this. No, not sticky piston, our normal piston facing upwards like this. And then we're gonna take our dropper and we're gonna put 2 blocks like this and our piece of redstone. So if we did everything right, or if I did everything right and you followed along right, this should be the Ricardoor door all done. So there's the beautiful man himself, and it also opens and it looks really cool. So I hope you enjoyed this really epic tutorial on the Ricardoor or the Ricardoor door or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, let me know if you want me to make any more meme doors, or if this should turn into a series. So hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, kids, subscribe to PewDiePie. Goodbye.